Ghosh, thank you so much for speaking with us. And today, after separation from the orbiter, what's your reaction? What do you feel? It's a very great moment for India, not only in terms of our space capabilities, but our capabilities in general.
A very important step in our entire journey to the moon, and a very significant step. And it's, as we keep clearing one step after the other, going from the orbit, Earth's orbit, to the moon, and then separation, this is a very important step. And of course, the most crucial step is the landing. But this is also equally important.
Mr. Ghosh, how do you compare, the landing process of Chandrayaan 1 and Chandrayaan 2? What is the elementary difference between these two landings?
Are quite different. One is the logical progression from 1 to 2. In Chandrayaan 1, what we were essentially trying to do is, we were trying to re-establish, reiterate the technologies that we had. The technology of going to the moon, from orbital movement around the Earth to the orbit of the moon, then of course landing on the moon. Chandrayaan 1 had a lunar impact module which actually impacted on the moon's surface at Jawahar Point near Shackleton crater. So we didn't know it in the soft landing, but that was the precursor to the soft landing that we are going to do now. At that time, we found out we had a lot of sensors and instruments from other countries also, like NASA, European Space Agency, like Bulgarian Space Agency, which we gave them free. We had our own 6 sensors. Now, the thing is that our aims were different. They were a little more limited. But remember, we found out that there is water on the moon, water molecules. I think it's a misconception. People are thinking probably there'll be a lot of ponds and rivers. There's nothing of that sort. So that was what we found. Now, Chandrayaan 2 is a totally different ball game. It's a much more advanced thing. We are going to do a soft landing. We are going to have a rover, Pragya, which is going to go out. It is going to do experiments. While there is an orbiter which keeps on going. Now, in Chandrayaan 1, the orbiter lasted 1 year, though it finished all its 95% of its objectives, but it lasted 1 year. So we have learned from there. Now, this will go on for 2 years and probably more.
Right. And Mr. Ghosh, also enlighten me and viewers that what will Vikram the lander do till the 7th of September? What kind of role is it going to be playing, while it waits for, while it waits to descend upon the lunar surface?
The Vikram will take orbit, which is about 30 into 100 kilometers orbit, and steadily do fine and rough braking and move closer and closer towards the moon. Now, at various stages, for example, at 100 kilometers, at 100 kilometers probably it will have a speed of 6,132 kilometers per hour. It will slow down to 500 and some kilometers, 512 kilometers, I think, per hour, and come nearer. Finally, I'm not going to go into details of exactly, because that's going to be boring, but it's going to come down to about 400 meters. And at 100 meters, again, at 400 meters, at 100 meters, it will stop and see whether the landing space is okay. At 10 meters, again, it will stop for a few seconds and then again see. Because it's very important that the landing space is okay. There should be no boulders. It can't land on a boulder. It should be free of boulders, and the inclination should not be more than 12 degrees. I think it's designed for 15 degrees, but we are going by the fact that the inclination should not be more than 12 degrees. 4 hours after the landing, soft landing, Pragya will roll out. So firstly, that's what I think even the chairman of ISRO, Dr. Sivan, has said, that look, those 15 minutes of terror which are going to be there when we are actually going to have the soft landing. After that, 4 hours after that, Pragya will come out.
Mr. Ghosh, also enlighten us as to why did we choose the cold trap area of the South Pole?
You see, the moon the surface has got no atmosphere. So the temperatures are extremes. Wherever there is sunlight, it goes up to 160, 170 degrees. While there are some craters where the sun never affects that crater. So it is extremely cold. It's again minus about 170, 130 degrees. These are the places where the chances of water being there is much more. That is why firstly, there hasn't been much landing. There haven't been landings in the South Pole, and we are landing in the South Pole basically for this, to see the chances are that we might find water in these cold traps, because the chance of finding water when the thing is hot is obviously not there. So this is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons.
And Mr. Ghosh, what more challenges do you foresee in the next few hours for Chandrayaan 2 and Vikram the lander?
Focus of ours is going to be now on Vikram rather than on the orbiter. So, as I said, the Vikram is going to come down slowly. So, in these days, we are going to see all the focus being shifted on to Vikram.
Right. And so, what are the long-term benefits of this project, not only for India, but the world entire?
Oh, it is a lot more beneficial now. We are actually going to tell the world. The Israelis couldn't land over there, bare sheet. So we are going to be the 4th country which are going to do a soft landing. Most of the technology is indigenous, and mind you, that's not easy. Whatever people might say, it is not an easy thing to build up this technology. The cryogenic engine technology, which was, the Russians finally didn't give it to us. The lander, which they were supposed to build, we built it ourselves. So I think we have come of age, and every Indian should be proud of the fact that we have not only come of age, we are able to show the world that in space we have got robust technology and it is very, very economical. The Apollos spent $25 billion in their time, and now it is about $110 billion. We have spent 1,000 crores, not even 1,000, 978 crores. I mean, it's peanuts compared to that. So we are giving you robust, reliable technology, which is most economical. I think we have got something to be proud of.
Absolutely, we have something and we have lots to be proud of. Mr. Ghosh, thank you so much for joining us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.